Hmm. Okay, so we good. All right, guys, welcome. This is episode 17. As always, we got myself, Jarhead Six. We got Budget Bug Out, Ted, and the Alabama Owens. Like we always do, we're gonna do a Bible verse, and this week is going to be Acts 18:10, and I pasted it on the comments for you guys to read it, and it says pretty much, for I am with you, and no one is going to attack you and harm you, because I have many people in this city. And when I read this Bible verse, I thought it was pretty powerful. Anytime you hear something when God is telling you that He's there with us, it's pretty good for me. Um, so with that being said, just let's do a quick intro. Budget, starting you, then Ted, and then the Alabama Owens.
Okay. I am Budget Bug Out. Oh, wait. Did you
No,
start
ahead,
first?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Budget Bug Out. My YouTube channel is about just survival stuff, some prepping stuff, some cool gear and gear reviews and zombie apocalypse kind of stuff. Yep. That's a brief summary of me.
Cool. Ted.
Just like I say every week, I'm the one of the primary administrators on the AMFAW channel, and I spend any of my YouTube time devoted to that. And we are at a little over 900 subs right now. We're going to be knocking on 1,000 pretty quick, and we are going to have a spectacular 1,000 sub giveaway, and you'd be sorely remiss if you didn't get in on it.
Cool. Alabama Owens.
I am the Alabama Owens. I do YouTube videos on guns, gear, prepping, really pretty much anything that interests me, and hopefully people that watch my videos get something out of it.
All right, so I think the first thing I wanted to do was say thank you to all the subscribers, because the last week, everyone here have gathered a bunch of new subscribers. So if you're new, we appreciate you watching, and we appreciate the support. Now we got anything going on? I think I wanted to jump into current events. I know we were talking about the airplane that got lost or anything like that. You guys know the deal on that?
Ted's getting important calls.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Who wants to start talking about that? That's So what does everybody think? Am I the big conspiracy theorist here?
No, I believe it was an act of terrorism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think so?
I believe so. Yeah. I just don't think in today's age. Now, my brother-in-law is in the other room right now. I just had supper with him, and he is a pilot and been doing it for years and years. And they're just in a whole lot of ways that a Boeing 777 just drops off a radar without a trace.
Yeah, that's a big old plane too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I used to be an air traffic controller, and that's pretty much impossible to do.
Well, I guess Ted is getting like 600 calls. Ted is an important one here in the group. So, but what country is it? Is it the Philippines or something?
It was a Malaysian flight.
Malaysian? Okay. Because we know that part of the war is full of terrorist groups. A lot of people think that terrorists are only in Afghanistan or Iraq, but that part of the war has a bunch of different terrorist groups. So it wouldn't surprise me. But like you say, just airplane disappearing is kind of weird. That just doesn't happen.
Am I right in? I think I saw something early on that said that it was just entering Vietnamese airspace when it fell off the radar.
Well, they're saying that the Malaysian military picked it up on radar several hundred miles west of its course, and it was heading in a different direction, a whole different heading, and then it dropped off a radar over there. Brother-in-law was telling me that for that to happen, that it would have to drop below below 10,000 feet, and they've been searching that area of that sea right there, and it hasn't shown any oil slicks. So part of me in my heart is thinking that maybe this thing was hijacked and landed somewhere else off the radar, or crashed into the jungle somewhere. But there's an unconfirmed report right now that former Homeland Security Director Tom Ridge was on that aircraft. And, you know, I've been waiting, you know, I saw that on Fox News this afternoon and trying to find out from anybody I could find out from if it was confirmed or not. Even sending emails out to some folks that I know in a previous life, and no one will confirm that Tom Ridge was on that. But if you guys remember him, he was the guy that was in charge of Homeland Security when Katrina happened. He was the guy in the middle of all that.
I don't know. I just it seems to me like hijacking a plane and taking it somewhere. It sounds like too difficult to be a terrorist attack. I mean, typically they just want to cause mass casualties. So if there would have been some type of terrorist attack, blowing up an airplane without any type of media or anything like that, it doesn't seem like a tactic. I mean, if we remember September 11th, the second plane waited for the media to be there so they could be recorded and have the psychological part of the terrorist groups, you know, and you show that all over the world. So just getting a plane and crashing somewhere, it doesn't seem like, it's just kind of weird.
Well, I think they may have hijacked it. We don't know if they've crashed it, but I think it may be hijacked in some little third world country sitting on a runway somewhere. And now I know they're bringing satellites to bear to kind of look around because they have that capability. Of course, they have to wait for daylight, and now that's rolling around over there here in just a little bit. But if you think back to the 70s, it wasn't uncommon at all for terrorists to hijack aircraft in those days and just sit on a runway and demand money and prisoner exchanges and everything else. So we'll kind of wait and see how this plays out. But it doesn't look good for our heroes.
And you know, something I heard yesterday, and this was not in mainstream news, so I'm not sure, but they were saying that some of the relatives of people that were on board the flight were saying that they were actually getting ring on the cell phone from the people that were on the flight.
Yeah, I heard that same thing too, that they didn't go to voicemail, that they actually rang like they would be.
Right.
Yeah, and have to be near a cell tower.
Right.
I mean, because you guys know how bad it is. I mean, there's parts of this country you can drive in your car and not get a cell phone signal.
There's a place in my kitchen I can go and not get a cell phone signal.
That happens in my house all the time. What about I don't know, man. One of those things that I hate, going to places where you have to be disarmed, you know. And I understand you can't you can't carry a concealed permit in an airplane, but it's just, you get used to carrying a weapon, and then when you don't carry a weapon, excuse me, it's like you feel vulnerable, you know, like something could happen. And I mean, it happens to me when I go to the base, and I know that Alabama always deals with that. I barely want to go to the gym on the base because I don't want to leave my gun out in the house.
It shows.
You know. I've been working out. But you know what I'm saying? It's just, I would hate to see myself in that type of situation where terrorists are taking over, and you know you have a perfectly good Glock 17 sitting at the house that you could have used, but now you cannot use because you know you can't carry that gun.
Well, and you know, even me, where I don't get to carry to work, but seriously, as soon as I come home, when I have on my regular around the house or out in town attire, I'm carrying. And I'll tell you, last week, you know, I don't travel much with work, but I had to go TDY last week, and man, it took me a while just to get ready to go through the airport because I'm not a budget bug out, but I carry a few things, and I had to get rid of a couple of knives and make sure I didn't have my pistol with me. And
Now, am I the only one that gets on an airplane after you've left all that stuff behind? You start looking around going, now, what can I use if I need to get my hands on it?
Oh man, I do that all the time.
Tray and all that.
I have a cross pin that stays in my hand when I'm on a flight.
Hmm. I do that
Just
all the
because
time.
it's metal pin.
I tell you what, man, and I said this in the past. I'm terrified of flying. I hate flying. I don't like it, and I don't care what you guys said. I know Ted is probably gonna make fun of me because he's an old Army guy, but I hate flying. So
Hey, I find the older I get, I don't like flying either.
yeah, and the Marine Corps made me. It took me to places that I did not want to fly there, but it had to be done, I guess.
Well, I think part of that goes back to when you were young and in your 20s, you were bulletproof and you were going to live forever. And now when you start to get to me and Alabama Owens' age, you can start hearing the Grim Reaper's footsteps coming up behind you.
He's creeping up on me quick, man. Let me tell you.
Yeah. I mean, I'm about to turn what, 33? So,
Baby.
man, old.
You a baby.
Yeah, old person.
Wait till you start getting gray like me and Ted.
I'm starting to get a couple of gray hairs in the front, but hey, so with that being said, and we got a couple of guys watching. If you guys got any questions, go ahead and post them because I'm pretty sure you guys don't come here to listen to me and Alabama Owens talk about gray hairs. Maybe they do.
I do.
I got to tell you, last time me and Budget, we were talking about the whole defense part, and you told me to talk about it. We never got to it. So that's pretty much what I wrote down to discuss. If you guys want to, you guys saw the video that I put out with the lady on the high point and the three guys kicking the door.
Yeah.
That was crazy, man. That was like straight up crazy. If you could tell at the end, the guy takes off running and he drops his pistol, or he drops a pistol, picks it up and tries to go back inside the house, and then she engaged again, and the guy finally takes over. So I mean, right there when the guy came back, picked up the gun and came back inside the house, I mean he's trying to harm this lady. I mean, it was not a joke. So one of the things that I wrote down to do is, and I think a lot of guys don't do, is pretty much identifying that threat and realizing that it could happen. And I think that's one of the things that people don't realize. Everybody's thinking that it's not going to happen to them. You know what I'm saying? And people have to like realize that, hey, this could happen to me, so I need to prepare for it. You guys got anything on that? Can you guys hear me?
I locked up.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. I'm like, man, am I talking to myself for a second?
I locked up. So I missed like half of what you said.
Yeah, no, because I'm getting like a little internet difficulties, little scream in the top, so I don't even know if you guys could hear me 90% of the time. So
Edge 40.6 is asking for a link.
You gonna send it? You want me to send it? All right.
But about home security, you're saying
Yeah.
What are some ways to be prepared?
I was just saying that.
Chat.
Yeah, I was just saying that some guys, the first thing that guys got to do is like realize that it could happen. A lot of guys are not thinking that it could happen to them, and a lot of people are just thinking that it's never going to happen. So I guess step one is realize that it could happen to you, and then start preparing. You know what I'm saying?
My wife shot an elbow into my ribs last week, middle of the week, at about 4:30 in the morning. She hit me in the ribs and said, "Somebody's in the house."
Oh, that's not good.
I rolled off the bed and grabbed my Glock and kind of laid alongside the bed, bore sight in the doorway because I knew that by the time she woke me up, if they were in, they're in. And I knew it was just going to be a matter of time before they found their way to the bedroom. So first thing I did was roll off the bed, got down low and kind of, bore sighted that doorway for a few minutes, for about a minute, I guess, just to see if anybody was going to come through the doorway, and was keeping my fingers crossed to know that I had enough light to identify one of my grown sons if one of them had decided to come home in the middle of the night, because they had a fight with a girlfriend or whatever. And when nothing happened, I grabbed my flashlight and kind of did a room to room in my house, and it turns out the cat had knocked a bottle of cleaning solution off the kitchen counter into the floor, and then was in the front door because cats get active in the middle of the night. It was in the front door, slapping at the blinds at the front door, and of course now here you are 4:45 in the morning and you're wide awake, and but I got to tell you though that I was happy with the way it went because it was a clear, methodical target search. I had my skyline plan was in place where I had that light on and down at the end of my hallway in the distance. So if anybody had stepped into that hallway, they would have skylined themselves. The furniture is arranged in such a manner that they have to actually walk around it and present a target to me twice to get into the hallway. And so I was happy with the way the plan worked out, and it went flawless. And my wife says, she says, you can't hear anything when you're sleeping. But she said, you heard that the first time. And I said, well, that's what we do, baby. That's what all the good ones do.
I think that's a good technique, that first step. If you hear something after you grab your gun, it's just to stay quiet. I've done that in the past because you just want to listen. People tend to flip out, call the cops, or like just grab your gun and just be quiet.
Well, how many of you actually charge your cell phone in another room?
Not it's right beside the bed.
I'm on a charger every night, but it's on my nightstand, and that has to be one of those things that you kind of pay attention to. You don't want your link to 911 in another room.
Yeah, mine's on the nightstand, always.
Yeah. Both me and my wife have a
quarterback on this thing. What I would do next time is I would also bring the wife off on the opposite side of the bed and get her on the floor too, and have that phone in her hand. Where as I start clearing the room, she's out of harm's way because she also has her Glock. And now, would I have the confidence that I do have the confidence that my wife, would identify a target before she pulled the trigger because she's a very, very good shot. She's very proficient with that Glock. But I think it has to be something that everybody's individual comfort level would have to be. But she definitely have that line of defense there for her in case you become a casualty of the event, that she's not going to also become a casualty. She's going to have to defend up because the intruders know that the guy coming down the hallway is probably the only guy in the house armed. And if you get taken out, and the prime thing there was multiple invaders. Jarhead 6 was pointing that out. You get multiple invaders. You got this tunnel vision. Your situational awareness draws down because you are naturally tunnel vision on there. You're focused in. And any of you guys ever been in a fist fight as a kid, you know that when you get all ramped up and the adrenaline hits you, your vision closes and you become acute. You get this acute awareness of that single focal point, and you lose that exterior vision over there. So in the event that you are taken out by a second or even a third intruder because you lost your focus, I wouldn't want her to become a victim. She can absolutely engage those targets and protect herself.
How you doing, gentlemen? Appreciate the link.
Yeah, something I talked about with my wife is for her to call the police, and we can keep our bedroom door closed and locked. I'm going to start doing the light thing. That's a good idea. I remember you saying that before, Ted. And then I have different weapons within reach for me to train on the door. But yeah, I'm not going to just hear what do they call it, the thump of the night or whatever, and just like dart out the door. I'm going to stay and try to figure out what's going on.
To post up and where I get that from, and I'd never heard that in any training manual, is I read or saw something on TV a few years ago, where a guy had shot this kid one night. Kid was in his 20s, lived next door actually, but was so drunk, in his 20s, out hanging around with the buds, that because they lived in a subdivision, all the houses kind of look alike. The kid was so hammered, he thought he was at his house, and he goes into the neighbor's house, and the neighbor ends up shooting him. And so you got to kind of give yourself a minute here. First of all, to get yourself in check, to make sure that you're going through that mental checklist. Now,
I will tell you, I've had friends. Back, I'm 30, gonna be 38 this year, but back in my 20s, I had friends who would come in from out of town, and we cut them off, and like, hey, I gotta go home.
Everyone's still there?
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. But I had friends who would come over in the middle of the night, or they'd come over and like we'd be partying, and I'd say, I gotta go back. I gotta go home.
Does anyone else have anything to add about home defense?
Edge, hang on a second.
Okay.
Budget, you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're not hearing Edge for some reason.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's cool. I don't want to step on anybody's toes. I was just commenting exactly what was last said about people knocking on the door, kind of being hammered and whatnot. And I'd cut my party short and said I got to go home. I got to go to work next day, right? But I had friends show up like 4 in the morning in a small municipality inside a metropolitan city, and they were buzzing the neighbor's door like, bam, bam, bam. Right.
Yo, what's going on, man?
Am I cool, or is there something I need to know about?
Oh, Budget? You there?
I'm here.
You're breaking up on my end.
Yeah.
Oh. And it said you were muting Edge.
I'm trying to unmute him.
Okay, I'm good. No, I'm
It was showing that he was muted.
Okay, no, I'm good.
Is it working now?
Basically, the top of what I was talking about is I had some friends show up real late, and then we lived in these townhomes that were right next to each other. The doors were, and instead of knocking on mine, they tearing up hers, trying to get me to wake up and let them in. I was like, oh, well, I was dead asleep, and luckily she was nice, and she wasn't. I don't think she had a gun in that particular time, but you can imagine if she did, and that she was, being, putting up with that, and she basically let them go sleep it off in their car. And didn't call the police or didn't pull a gun out and shoot somebody like you're talking about, because it's a very similar situation. That was a long time ago.
I went to a call maybe 2005, 2006 when I was an MP, military police, and this lady actually was talking to her husband, and her husband was on the way home, so she opened the front door, and as she opened the front door, unlocked the door, and she's taking a shower, the neighbor that was drunk went inside her house, but he was actually thinking that was his house because he was drunk. And the lady finally finished taking a shower, and she comes out, goes into the living room, and sees this guy drunk pass out on top of the couch. So she automatically called the police officers. The husband showed up, big scene. The guy almost got his butt kicked, and next thing you know, everything happened. That the guy was drunk, and the door happens to be open. So I mean, that's one of those situations where he could have been shot. But I guess you have to identify the threat before you actually engage. I mean, I don't know. Some people are trigger happy. If you see a guy, you just want to shoot him. But you never know.
That's where you got to get that adrenaline in check, because you hear that thump in the middle of the night. You panic. I panicked.
Mm-hmm.
I did. I got to admit, I was a little, I felt it hit me. I had the little tremor, and but that's where it's good to post up. And another thing to remember too is have your cell phone with 911 on one of your speed dial cues. Now, my wife has the local police department here has an app that you can actually load on your phone, and you can actually hit that app and it will direct dial. And so you can use that technology to your advantage. But if she was to accidentally hang that call up and they were to call back, her phone would ring. So it'd be a good idea to put that phone on mute, because you don't want to let everybody in the room where you're at. So you got to kind of pre-plan for that lack of fine motor skills when the adrenaline hits you. And I've told this story before, and you guys have heard it, but there was a time we were springing an ambush back when I was a young E2, and boy, when everything started kind of going crazy there in the fray, I could not for the life of me find that safety selector on my weapon, and I never fired a shot for the whole ambush because I just couldn't. I couldn't manipulate it. I couldn't do it. I mean, it was over with before I got in the game, and so it just goes to show you, I was very, very well trained, and I thought, but I wasn't trained for the effects of adrenaline, and that's one of those things that your judgment goes, your fine motor skills goes, your breathing is intensified. All those things that go along with it, and that tunnel vision comes in, and there's really no way you can train for that. You just have to keep your head about you, and know that it's going to happen, and settle yourself in, concentrate on your breathing, and clear the room. Work your plan, just corner to corner, angular movements, and everywhere your eyes look, your gun looks, and if you can do that, you'll have that tactical edge. You'll have that opportunity to come out on the other side.
All right, I got a discussion for you. Speaking of fine motor skills, all right, everybody's just gonna have to check their egos at the door. How many of you, your wife's a better shot than you are?
Oh, mine is. I'll admit that all day
mine
long.
is too.
I want her to defend me. As a matter of fact, if she was so little, I'd hide behind her.
She is a good shot, but she's still not to my level yet. Not that I'm a high level, but yes, not yet.
It's all right, man. This is that Air Force training that you got.
Hey, I'm an expert marksman in the Air Force.
My wife doesn't. I've tried. I was this close taking her to the range right before Sandy Hook, about a couple months before then. And we're getting around to it, and she's like, "Oh, it was," because she's not exactly like real popular, real trendy, but she's like, "Oh, all my girlfriends are going, and I want to go now. I want you to take me now." I'm like, "Now it's cool. Now you want me to take you, right?" And I go, "Okay, fine, let's go." And then Sandy Hook happened. No, guns are bad. And I'm like, "No, they're not bad. No, but." We just never could agree on it again. I'm trying to nurse her back into doing it again. Hopefully I'll get her soon. Yeah.
My wife carries a Glock 19 inside her purse, so she has no issues, man. She has no issues. I love that.
That's great.
So yeah, she does good. But I tell you what, the first time I took it to shoot shotguns, man, she had bruises in her shoulders, man. But she did it. Women can shoot a 12 gauge with no issues. So
it's a really good training technique that the guy. Now, I love my wife dearly, but she went to a training class to learn to shoot, and the guy gave her a really good tip for that Glock that I found that I even use. And he took a quarter and let her dry fire. Took her mag out, would chamber it, and then he put a quarter up on the flat part of that slide. That would make presentation to her target and pull that trigger without dropping that quarter off. And she's a shot. I mean, she's a beast. She's way better with a handgun than I'll ever be, probably. And
So now, I remember this from the Marine Corps. Some girls actually shoot better just because they're more flexible. So you know what I'm saying? They have that flexibility. Well, especially in qualifications and things like that, you have to be on the sitting, you have to be on the kneeling, and things like that. And they are more flexible, so they can move better than the guys. So
that, and how much of it is the machismo that goes along with it? Man, you ain't gonna tell me how to shoot up, mama. They don't have any preconceived. Most of them don't have any preconceived. Daddy didn't teach them how to shoot, or the uncle didn't teach them how to shoot. I had to learn how to shoot over again when I went in the military because even though I love those relatives that taught me how to shoot, with all my heart, they weren't exactly teaching me the right thing to do. I don't know how many times I crossed a fence with a loaded gun, and it was crazy. And but no, she didn't have any preconceived notions. So when she got taught right, and that theory also proved out with my youngest boy because when I taught him to shoot, he got taught the right way, and he gets he's a shot. He's a shooter. Not so much anymore because he's got blue-eyed, blonde-haired girls on their brain here lately. He doesn't get to the range as much as he gets to his
Yeah.
girlfriend's house. But
That'll kill your proficiency there.
yeah. And my hopes for him being an Olympic champion went right out the window.
Yeah.
What do you think is a good age to start shooting? Because I got my boys as
10.
Yeah, my biggest one just turned 10, so I don't know. I was thinking waiting until like 13, 14 or something like that, but I haven't really put any thought on it. What do you
Don't
guys
wait that
think?
long.
Really?
My oldest daughter's been shooting since she was about 10, and my youngest daughter's shot the .22 rifle now, and she's 6.
Mm-hmm. And she could shoot good?
My oldest daughter's a good shot. My youngest daughter can hit the target every time.
That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
So, hey, Alabama, you want to talk about that 80% lower?
Yeah, been waiting on that.
Mm.
If you guys haven't seen, click on me so it'll show me up here. I got, and this is thanks to the Daily Shooter for helping me spend some money here. I got a Aries Arms 80% lower. This is a polymer lower, and if you watch my video, you can see that there's already a little something missing where the fire control group goes.
Come on, tilt it. Let us see.
Is some white, and we've already started bringing it out. I've still got about an eighth or 16th to an eighth of an inch left that I got to go down.
Mm.
But just using a Dremel bit and just shaving off a little at a time.
Just taking your time with it. Now, I saw some of those polymer lowers where they get kind of cleared out like you have that, they can wedge a sharp knife in between the black polymer and the white polymer and kind of break that out. You find you're able to do that on that one?
Yeah, on the top sides where it's real thin right here, I have actually stuck a knife down in there and it pops out, but I've still got enough material down in here that it's not flexing enough.
Okay.
So I'm going to have to wait till I get lower into it to be able to pop that out. But, guys, I can show this on camera, and I probably don't have a clear enough picture for you to tell, but there's no markings on this lower. None at all.
Well, that's cool. So you're getting into 80% lowers?
This is my first one, so we'll see.
Have you owned a polymer AR lower and shot with one, or any?
I never have. Tactical Advantage recently built a AR pistol, and between Tactical Advantage building the pistol with this polymer lower, and then the Daily Shooter showing me what a good deal this Aries lower was, I couldn't help myself.
So pretty much you don't have a serial number. So when the government comes for your weapons, they don't know about that.
I don't have a weapon. What are you talking about?
Ah, okay. So that's good. You're talking about the Daily Shooter, and he made a video. And he was talking about something that I didn't even think about it, and he made a great point. He's saying that he doesn't show all his weapons here on YouTube because that's pretty much registering his weapons. So, and I didn't even thought about that until he said it, and that's such a great point. You know what I'm saying? Because we tend to show everything we have, and
no, we don't.
I mean, I'm not saying me and you, and I'm saying overall, generally. Yeah. People tend to, you get a gun and the first thing you do is like, let me do an unboxing video or something. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, easily people could just say that they sold him. You can't really track him. So, but I don't know. I thought that was a good point, me personally.
Yeah, 504 caught me. This was kind of in homage to De Leon. That's gonna be my ghost gun. And some guy in Sandy, I haven't put an upper on it yet because this is gonna be a pistol build, and I don't have a pistol upper. And I know that you can put the upper on it. It's the the back end that makes the difference, but I'm not putting anything rifle on it. I'm going pistol all the way.
Well, this is my first, chat with you guys. I know you guys do this weekly, or a couple times a week. But have you guys, just okay? The reason I'm asking, it's not like have you looked at Palmetto State Armory as far as uppers?
Oh yeah, that's where when I did my first build, everything but the barrel pretty much came from PSA.
Cool, man. They make great stuff. I'm a happy customer with them.
I am too. They're a little slow on shipping. Well, they're really not that slow. It's just that everybody is so used to how quick everything is these days.
I ordered 3 lower parts kits from them, or 2 lower part kits from them, and it took almost 3 weeks to get here.
Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, man, I lost my chance with that Oprah they had for $2.99, the flat top one. Man, I wish I should have bought it.
They'll run it again. They'll probably do like a Valentine's. Well, no, I guess Valentine's. No, they'll do some kind of.
Freaking Cinco de Mayo is coming up.
There you go.
April Fool's Day.
Maybe they'll do a 4th of July sale.
Yeah.
6, did you check with your FFL guy up there?
No, I haven't checked.
You check with him because your package should be there.
Okay. So now I got half of AR.
Yeah.
That gives me a reason to go and buy the other half.
Yeah.
I just recently had I won a contest. It was on a chat the Stone Guy hosted from Q Blue Bravo, and I got the PDQ. That was part of it, and they offered, go ahead and send it to me, send it to them, and they'll install it and set it up and everything. And I got it back, put it together a couple days ago, Saturday, and it is awesome. I'm also, a lot of people are kind of skeptical about cutting into the receiver,
Right.
cutting into that part of the excess weld. I wouldn't say weld, but that forge that's on there. But it's sweet, man. I didn't cut up a real fancy lower. It was a Palmetto State blend lower that I cut up or had them do, and they did a great job. Once you see it and maybe see it in person, I'll have a follow video. I've already made one video on it, but I have a follow video coming out on how it's working out, and it is nice. They have some really good stuff going on over there.
How much is it? Like $60 or something?
$59.99, yeah.
$59.99.
If you're going to get into doing those polymer lowers and having to mill that thing out, I would suggest I went to Harbor Freight a couple weeks ago and got a cross slide vise for my drill press, so you can put whatever you want to work in there, put your tool on there, and you've got 2 handles. You can crank one east and west and one north and south, and you can kind of really keep that bit working the way you want it, and it kind of takes those shaky Dremel hands out of your put it slow and let the dog eat, and just take your time. And I'm going to try that with my 80% lower, because the Alabama counterpart has got me polymer fever going on.
It's the key to it. All my smithing I've done, you really have to. The biggest thing I've learned is you have to take your time. If you get itchy or you try to rush it, all you do is screw it up, and learn how to fix it the next time or how to do it right. If you try it again.
Yeah, that's why I'm going so slow on this polymer, because I don't want to eat too much out. I just want to, go slow with it and try to get it milled out and get everything right the first time.
I just don't have the money to make mistakes, man.
But you know what? That's $50. That was all. So
yeah,
that's not bad.
Yeah,
that's
I
not
can
bad.
make a $50 mistake once or twice a year.
Yeah.
I've done some 1911 work, man, on my own stuff, and like the last time I tried to fit a thumb safety, and after I finished it all together, I was like, it's this little piece that was completely, I could not see it, that was causing it not to fit. And then I trimmed it off and fitted it with the jewel file, but I had done so much crap to the rest of the freaking thumb safety that it was garbage by then. So I learned how to fit it the next time.
Right.
But I completely trashed a $40 Caspian thumb safety. Yeah.
So how is it? What is it called again? The PDQ or something?
PDQ.
Yeah. How is that really practical? I've seen a couple of videos on it.
A lot of people are gravitating towards it. Again, nobody's gonna go cut up a Colt lower. That's what at least Max done a video on one. Haas UMC's done a video on one. I've done a video on one. I understand they sent one out to Pete, the Armory Channel as well. It's. I mean, if you do it yourself, it's not terribly hard to do. But if having them do it, they use a mill. and it looks a little more precise in my opinion. I'm still waiting for other people to post videos on their own self tech projects that they're doing on at least gunsmithing.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I'm not too worried on it.
That
If
that
it
wouldn't
looks
be
good and if practical, I don't care. I don't have an AR-15 to
that
look
wouldn't be a
pretty.
bad project for a polymer lower though.
Mm.
No, I mean you got to use the part anyway in a polymer. You have to use that mag release. So all you can do is cut their slit on the side of it.
Right. I may look into that.
It's cool, I will tell you, because I was showing my father. My father's combat veteran, Vietnam, and the Navy, and I was showing him today. I showed him the bottom, the lower, and I showed him like, look, all your trigger, all the controls are now by your index finger. The magazine release, what extended magazine release, the the bolt release now, it's all there. You don't have to sit there and in whatever kind of situation you want to put yourself, home defense, whatever it is. You don't take your eyes off the target because everything's being controlled by your index finger now.
Right.
And that's cool, in my opinion. I think that's very cool.
Yeah, it's practical. Little seconds like that can save your life.
Yes, sir.
So, that's pretty cool. So, anybody else got any new toys? Ted, you always having new stuff.
I do. Some of you guys got a peek of this thing on my Facebook page earlier this week.
Yeah. I'm gonna be like Ted one day when my kids grow up and I have extra money that I don't have to spend on braces and glasses. I'm gonna have new toys every week.
I want to introduce you guys to the Amfaw shotgun, and it's started life as a Winchester Model 1300 20 gauge. This is my turkey gun. I took it apart completely, disassembled it, and turned it into the AMFAW turkey gun, and it's just a rattle can paint job, but it's one of those truck guns. It's going to get beat up and banged up and scratched up. And it's a user and an abuser. So when I mess it up, I'll get the rattle can out and spray back on it again. As long as I don't interfere with those sights and keep her lubed and clean, it'll keep delivering food to the freezer. So that's what it's about.
You say you're gonna put a video on it in the next 2 weeks or so?
Put a video out on it, and once the manufacturer's license comes in, I'll be building some very similar guns to this on a Remington 870 pattern. So and it won't be a rattle can; it'll be Duracoated.
That'd be pretty cool, though. I want to buy another shotgun pretty soon, but now that I'm going to start working with that AR, I want to get a pistol grip for the shotgun and just make it like a small, compact, pistol grip, something that I could use inside the house. Because the AR is going to be the primary rifle, so I don't need to have that shotgun as a primary rifle.
Jarhead 6, you can go to the Alabama Owens Amazon store, and I have the whole pistol grip that I use listed on my Amazon store.
Roger that. If when I get it, I do it that way.
Shameless plug.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna buy it anyway.
Jared, what kind of ammo are you running on your ARs for home defense?
Well, I haven't ran anything yet. I got the Alabama Owens and Ted build me a lower, complete lower. So it's supposed to be here at what, today, Ted, or tomorrow?
Yeah, I shipped it last week, so you should have it. It's probably at your dealer now.
Yeah. So I guess I'm gonna start looking around, but what is a good ammo out there?
One ammo that I've seen, I haven't messed with it yet, but it's from DRT. It's 223, but it's infrangible. So, again, it needs to be tested, in my opinion, to be able to see. I haven't seen anybody video test it or do a video on any kind of material yet to see what kind of penetration they're getting and whatnot. But the design, so if it misses, if it hits, it makes a mess. If it misses and hits a sheetrock, it's supposed to break up and disintegrate and not go through the wall, because the standard 223, depending on the grain, it might go through your brick and then possibly neighbors, or whatnot. So that's something you got to consider when using that kind of rifle.
Hey,
I don't see myself using an AR for home defense, to tell you the truth.
I don't know who makes them, but there is a company out there that was making a plastic projectile for 223, reduced, not reduced powder. The projectile was plastic, and so it would lose a lot of energy coming out of the gun because it would open up like a wad on a shotgun once it came out. But yeah, and I can't remember I'll try to find it and put a link up on there. But it was especially made for home defense. I mean, so it wouldn't penetrate two walls. And
right.
Yeah, if you're shooting plastic, I don't know what the weight would be, probably about 20 grains. If you're shooting plastic 20 grain slugs out of an AR, with a 30 rounder on there, that bad guy don't know those bullets are plastic when you're coming down the hall blazing away.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I haven't even put any thought on it, but I don't see myself using an AR inside my house as a home defense. Not because it's not practical. I mean, I used it in Iraq and Afghanistan. I don't know. It's kind of like a flashback, You're walking inside your house with an AR. It's like I've been there, done that.
Or searching somebody else's.
Yeah.
And Jarhead 6, you're like me. You got kids in the house. And,
yeah.
I just fear of overpenetration or something like that. Stray round. Shotgun and pistol are my go-to in the house.
Yeah, Jarhead 6 got into a little controversy here a while back on one of his videos about over-penetration of 9mm rounds, and there was a whole little comment string going.
Man, I'm getting all kind of different issues with these people, man.
Don't shoot ball ammunition in your 9mm. Well, first of all, the ammo is not ball. The powder is ball. Actually, the powder pellets are actually spherical, and that's why they call it ball ammo. It's a military thing. But, to my mind, and look, I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, but I'm going to train with the same ammo I shoot. And I learned that shooting a precision rifle, because if I'm going to shoot a 175 grain bullet in competition, I'm going to shoot 175 grain when I pull it, when I practice, because the bullet acts the same every time.
Yeah.
Now I reload, so everything I shoot through my Glock is a hollow point. But that being said, if I'm buying ammo and I have to kind of pick between what I'm going to buy ball ammo and just make sure my target and what's beyond it. That's those 4 golden rules for gunman. And if I don't have a clear shot, and I think my kids are on the other side of that wall, I'm not going to pull the trigger. I mean, it's going to become, it's going to become a knife fight at that point.
Yeah. Well, the thing about that, Ted, and when I joined the military, they always tell you to be a sponge. Pick up as much as information as you can. And I went to classes. I remember I went to this course that the Marine Corps paid like $54,000 for me and like maybe 12 guys to go to this course. And there we are going through this protective service detail course. And I mean, it was an awesome class. But some of the things that they said, I was like, yeah, by no means I'm going to do this. Some things are good, some things are not good. And that's how I feel about YouTube. If you see a video and you may not agree with it, or you think it may be a good idea, collect that information. You never know when you're going to use it. And the point of that video that I was trying to make in that video, it wasn't so much about the ammo. I wasn't really talking about so much about what type of ammo. It was kind of like an idea. Look, every 2 rounds you could use this type of round, or you could switch your ammo. It was the concept behind that. Now, maybe it was my fault. I didn't articulate that the right way, or maybe not. But again, a bunch of preppers, all these preppers are prepping with American Eagle 124 grain, FNJs, and a lot of these guys are buying the bare minimum. The ammo is $15, $16 per box. So you're prepping, thousands of rounds and this type of round, but then you're not going to shoot it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what I'm prepping with. Yeah. So if something happens, zombies come, or government shut down, or whatever, that's what I have, because I cannot afford to buy Hornady 135 grain hollow points like I got in my Glock right now to stock up. So that's what I have, and that's what I'm going to deal with. And if you know how to shoot and if you're trained, you should be able to minimize that collateral damage. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I cannot tell you how many times we shot a 50 cal against a car, and there were 20 other cars there, but we knew how to shoot, and the people that were supposed to get hit got hit, not everybody else. So, well, whatever. It is what it is, man.
Stone guy, you made it for the last 5 minutes, man.
Well, I appreciate it anyway.
You made it just in time.
Just in time. Fashionably late.
There you go.
I appreciate the link. You guys are great. I've been watching you for a little while now. I like the format of the show, and
Ted, you talking about getting into one? I got into one the other day, and the guy actually told me to go and seek help and go and talk to a psychologist, which was kind of funny. But anyways, he had an issue with the video that I did. That was a video response to the Yankee Marshal on how many magazines you should carry, and I say you should carry 6 to 8. And this guy is straight up telling me, hey, you know what? We're not in Iraq. We're not in Afghanistan. You need to go and seek help. This is not a war zone. And I'm thinking, some of these people out there are playing. I don't even want to use those words, but they're not thinking. What do you mean this is? First of all, I know I'm not in Iraq or Afghanistan because the weather is really nice. Iraq was 140 degrees. So that's just first. 146 degrees the day that I left. So I'm pretty sure I'm not in Iraq or Afghanistan. I'm actually in North Carolina. I know that. But second of all, there's active shooting situations every day. Like we see guys getting shot at the mall. We see guys getting shot at the movie theaters. Any place, even in military installations, we seeing active shooter situation inside bases that are protected by military police guys. And the point is,
we can't carry on.
Yeah, and the point is, this is why people are victims. Every time we see an active shooter situation, we see people running. And I mean, yeah, of course you got to run. You're not going to see a guy shooting and you're not going to run. But we usually see people running and people crying, and Americans like to be victims. And I'm sorry, but I'm not a victim. And if I get faced in that situation, I'm not going to run. I'm not going to cry. I'm going to be able to protect myself.
And I actually a real good point about Full Metal Jacket here versus Hollow Points, and then I'll shut up.
But that's also what you tell them. That's also what you tell them. Bésame la chicha izquierda.
Full Metal Jacket. The same exact argument that those guys were grabbing on you about was the overpenetration. Well, that's why I like Full Metal Jacket, because if they're hiding behind a coffee table or a sofa or a doorway or, on the other side of a car door in my garage, I want that penetration. I don't want it to hang up in the wall board or the sofa or a jacket. I want it to just bust right on through and tear everything up it can tear up on the way through. I understand that that's not always going to be the case, and that hollow points are certainly going to be more effective or soft tissue damage than a Full Metal Jacket. But
I got a question for the panel. Jarhead 6 was talking about going places where you can't carry. Now, Alabama's a very gun-friendly state, but and this is just one of those that it never occurred to me because we don't ever go to the movies. We seldom go to the movies as a family. And we went recently to see the latest little animated movie. And there's a sign on the door. No weapons allowed. Of course, in Alabama, that sign doesn't carry force of law, so mine's concealed. I just went right on in and watched the movie.
Yeah, it has to have appropriate signage to be legal, to be a legal sign.
Do you guys, movie theaters in your areas, do they have no concealed carry?
I actually saw a guy open carry maybe a month ago at the movie theater.
Really?
Yeah, open carry. Here in North Carolina, you see them all the time. And I mean, it was open carry a pistol. But yeah, again, I was standing next to him, concealed carry versus open carry kind of thing. And everybody's like looking at this guy with his eyes, and I'm thinking in the background, I got a Glock 17. I got a Glock 17 with already hollow points in my pocket. But anyways, it's kind of
Well,
fun.
that's the big difference is,
Yeah.
you know, they could have signs that say, you know, do not, you know, no weapons allowed, but like we said, it doesn't carry the weight of law behind it. That's a, you know, a rule, I guess, of the movie theater, and they could ask
Right.
you to leave, but you can't be prosecuted,
Right.
you know, for any legal, you know, matter.
Legal,
Yeah, but
I'd rather
if
pay
it's
a fine for violating a city ordinance or something like that than have to pay an undertaker.
Well, to quote,
Yeah.
you know, to quote Eric from Eric Veteran, 888, was it better to be judged by 12 than be carried by 6?
Yeah.
That's the thing, you know, it's not a law, so in essence, you're not breaking any law. It's a rule of the private entity, you know, whether it's
Right.
a restaurant or a movie theater, and they can ask you to leave, and then if you don't leave, then they can, you know, file trespassing charges. But
Right.
you know, and like I said, I think it's just best to, you know, what people don't know won't hurt them. You know, like you said, you carry it concealed, and no one's the wiser. And if you need it, you have it available.
Yeah,
Right.
if the usher's going to come up and frisk you, you got bigger issues.
Yeah, you know, actually, I did
Then
that
I'm going to
just
leave no matter
out
if
of
I'm carrying or
spite.
not.
I did that just out of spite. I don't know that I had ever been in a Starbucks, but right after they came out with their "Please don't carry on our premises," I went just because I happened to be out in town and I was carrying that day, and concealed. Just for my own personal satisfaction, and plus I'd never had a $5 cup of coffee before, so
$5 on the cheap side. You can go up to like $8 on there.
yeah.
Man,
You
you
know,
know what?
I grew up out in the country. We used to go to the gas station and the coffee was free, you know.
You know what happens to me every
You're
time
up
I go
against
there,
that
man?
time.
Well, just real quick. Every time I go there and I order a coffee, I don't know why, but I always think, would Jesus drink a $4, $5 coffee?
No,
He turned it into wine.
I don't know, man. Maybe I'm getting convicted or something, but I always think that. I was like, would Jesus drink a $5 coffee? And then I don't even want to drink it. Like, I want to go out there and find a poor guy and be like, here's the $5, brother. God loves you, you know? But
What I missed when I was a kid is when you go to fill up your tank with gas and they give you a free glass depending on how many gallons you fill up with. Back in the days, you would just glasses and you take them home and put them in your collection, and there you have more glasses.
we almost
Yeah,
done.
we're over on time already.
56. All right. Hey, you guys got real quick any final statements? Alabama Owens.
Yeah, I do want to say thank you to everybody. Between Budget Bugouts giveaway and the little video that JJ kind of put together for some of the YouTube gun community channels, I've grown a whole lot in channel subscriptions in the last few days, and I have passed 1,000. But those of you that have been around with me since the very beginning, you know I tend not to play exactly by the rules, so I'm not going to have a 1,000 subscriber giveaway. It'll be some random number a little bit later than 1,000, and I'm still trying to figure out exactly what I'm going to give away, but it should be a pretty good one, so stay tuned for that.
That's
And
Alabama
I will
E's
be.
for I'm cheap.
What's that?
That's Alabama. That's Alabama E's for I'm cheap.
Yes, sir. And stay tuned because I'll be working on the polymer lower too.
Got it. What about Ted? You got anything?
Well, yeah, I think actually Alabama Owens hitting his 1,000 subs and the AMFAW channel hitting our 1,000 subs here just momentarily. We'll probably do a joint venture giveaway, and it's going to be something pretty tasty. Stay tuned. We're going to put a video out on it here very shortly, and I tell you what, you're going to have to get in on this one because it's going to be pretty easy to qualify. It's going to be an amazing prize package. So.
Cool. Marty?
Let's see here. Oh, don't feel bad, Alabama Owens. I didn't do $1,000 subscriber giveaway. I'm cheap too, but at least I'm more honest about it. I put it in my name, my username. Yeah, I feel bad whenever I pass a milestone and don't do a giveaway. I feel bad for a little bit, but then I move on. And I think
There you
about the
go.
money I don't have, the money I have now.
You get over it quick.
Yeah, yeah. Stone and Edge. Oh, you. Go ahead, Marty. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just saying that the next thing that I'll be doing is my Zombie Survival Kit 2.0. Those are my, way more watched videos than the other ones. So stay tuned for that. I'm done videoing it, so now I just got to go through the editing process. So, but yeah, stay tuned for that. And I'm doing a 5,000 subscriber giveaway right now, so be sure to check that out if you haven't already. That's it. I'm done.
Cool. Stone and Edge, you guys got anything to pass?
I'll be doing I'm almost at 2,000 subs, so I'm going to do something at 2,000 when I hit 2,000. I'm at like almost 1,800 now, so we'll do something nice at 2,000, some type of giveaway. But I appreciate the invite, and like I said, hopefully get on with you guys a little earlier because I like the way you run the show, and content's always really good and on topic. So.
Cool. Well, we appreciate it. We don't really do any planning. We just like wing it. So, Ash, you got anything to pass before we go off?
Besides a kidney stone?
No. No, I mean, I've been definitely checking my channel. I appreciate anybody who checks it out and then looks at the product reviews. I'm doing a lot of product reviews for holsters and gun belts and some other good stuff I got coming out. And check it out, man.
Yeah, cool. Hey, put your channel link on the internal because I don't even know if I'm subscribed to you. So.
I just have.
Okay, got it.
I was gonna say I've had Edge for a long. Edge was a early sub that I had.
Is it?
About every third comment that I get 3 comments in my Google Plus message inbox.
Yeah.
It's Jarhead6 saying thanks for the sub, and it's some kind of conversation going back between the Alabama Owens and Edge 40 on.
Yeah. Hey, sorry, man. I got a headache. I got a migraine, and I'm not like tracking today. I'm like in a different planet. All right, guys. So with that, I appreciate you guys watching. Come back next Tuesday, and 7 o'clock Central Time. For a bunch of subscribers that we got in the last couple of days. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and you guys are awesome. So next Tuesday, and all my friends are warriors.